In today's video, you're going to learn a complete routine on how to fix your forward head. If you're new to this channel, I'm Tara, I'm a neurologic physical therapist, and on this channel, the intent is to empower you with as many tools as possible to take complete ownership of your mobility and your overall health. And today we're going to address a very common issue that pops up as we age, and that is posture, where your head just has a tendency to kind of drift forward. And unfortunately, many people are just under the impression that this is just a normal part of aging and just kind of accept it. But it can be something that actually does start to impact your balance and your overall walking efficiency. So if you really want to live your best life as you age and have complete mobility freedom, you want to address this issue and address it early, and that is what we're going to do today. But before we dive into all that, if you are new to this channel, you might not know this, but we do have a membership program. With a gold or a bronze monthly membership, you do get access to all the PDF handouts that go along with a lot of these videos that we have on this channel. This video does have a PDF handout which will have pictures and descriptions of all the exercises that we go through today, to make it very, very easy for you to implement these exercises into your home exercise routine. To learn more about our membership programs and to sign up, you can visit rehab-hq.com. But now let's go ahead and dive into the exercises. So it may not look like I'm doing much, but the first exercise is quite literally just to lay on your back. Now, what you want to focus on this is we're really just trying to kind of stretch all the structures that could potentially be contributing to pulling your head forward. And this might be a little bit hard for some of you if your head's been forward for a while, but you're just going to lay, and I just want you to focus on kind of letting your shoulders fall into whatever you're laying on. I do recommend laying on something that's a little bit firmer than a bed. So if you can get onto the floor, laying on the floor would be a little bit better. Or if you have a mat table like this works great, and you're just gonna hold it. Now you'll notice I do have a towel roll under my head, or maybe you can't see it, my hair might be in the way. But once you get good at that, or if you don't have too much discomfort with that, take that towel roll out and try and do the same thing, and you're really just trying to let your head fall. Now, what might happen is you might notice that your chin tips back for your head to be able to touch the table. What you really want to try and do is get your head to go straight back. So that bone at the base of your skull, that's what you want to be in contact with whatever you're laying on. Not like the top of your head, but really that kind of more towards the base of your skull, that little bony part that sticks out. You want to be closer to that, and then still focusing on bringing those shoulders back. The next exercise we're going to do is we're still going to be laying down. We're just going to add a little bit of external rotation. So really when your head is starting to drift forward, it's not necessarily just that like the neck muscles might be tight and pulling the head forward, but usually it's this whole upper body or this whole upper quadrant that is tight. All the structures on the front pulling everything in. So in addition to being able to kind of stretch the neck muscles, which is kind of what we just worked on in that previous exercise, you also want to work on stretching the front of the shoulders at the same time. And that's when we're going to do this dowel rod exercise. So we're going to lay in that same position. And then what you're going to do is you're going to stretch your shoulder towards external rotation and then stretch the other shoulder towards external rotation. Okay? So laying on your back, dowel rod in your hands, head still in that same position. You're going to push the dowel rod in one direction, externally rotating this shoulder, and then you're going to push the dowel rod in the other direction, externally rotating the other shoulder. Now, if you can do that and your head and your shoulders can stay down flat on the mat, you're going to next take the dowel rod and you're going to try and get it over your head. And then bring it back down. Same thing, up and over your head. If you can only get to here, that's okay. Just You know, some of you are only going to be able to get to like maybe chin level. That's okay. Just go as high as you can, making sure again that you're keeping the base of the skull down and not tipping towards the top of the head. And then same thing. Your goal is to eventually, if you can, get it behind your head. If you've had a forward head position for a long time, this might be pretty challenging, so don't get frustrated. Just be patient with yourself. If you can only get to here, that's okay. You're just working on getting it back. Okay? Then the next exercise, that's mainly like kind of the stretches that we're going to do laying down. Now let's get to some of the strengthening. For the strengthening component of this, you're going to lay on your stomach and you're just going to work on lifting your head. So you want to think that there's something pushing up on your chin. So you want to try not to do this, but you want to think something's pushing up on your chin. And again, maybe even visualize kind of pressing that bone on the base of your skull, pressing it into a button on the ceiling. Okay? So you're pressing that button on the ceiling with that bony part that's right on the base of your skull. Press and down. Press and down. All right, and then the next kind of strengthening, remember I told you this is kind of a neck and a shoulder issue as far as tightness and weakness. So the next one you're going to do is you're going to just try and press your hands and your shoulders down away from your ears and up towards the ceiling. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades together, lifting your hands up, and thinking about pressing those shoulders down away from your ears and down. Lift, squeeze, and down. Lift, squeeze, and down. Now we're going to take this into standing and really kind of incorporate this into more of like posture exercises, which is what the intent of this video is. So you're going to take a towel and put it right behind your head, kind of on that same bony prominence that I talked about referencing or thinking about or visualizing in your head when we were laying down. And you're going to press that chin back. All right, now some of you might need to get something pretty thick because you just don't have the range, but this is what we're eventually looking for. Is you want to get your that base of that skull against the wall without like feeling like you're kind of pushing your hips forward, okay? So hips staying against the wall and then pushing that head against the wall. But a lot of you aren't there yet. So what you want to do is get a towel roll, stick that behind your head, and think about pressing that towel roll back. And then if you can get it as thin as possible, that's ultimately the goal. Pressing it back and holding it. Then once you're pretty good at that, you're going to try and do that same thing and just rotate those hands out, trying to get them as close to the wall as possible. Again, without letting your pelvis coming or your hips coming off the wall. Rotate those hands out and hold that towel back there. Again, just rotating them out. If you can do that, then you want to move those arms up and see if you can do the same thing. Rotate them out. And then if you can do that, next, you want to now take a dowel rod and you can reach out pretty far. The farther out you go on this, further your hands are apart, the easier this is going to be. And then you're just going to try and hold that towel roll and reach that rod all the way up. Now again, a lot of you aren't going to be able to do this yet, but just go as high as you can, right? Just bring the arms up as high as you can without dropping that towel roll. Okay? And then if you can go all the way up, go all the way up. And then the last exercise incorporating those shoulders for against the wall is now you want to do what we call like a goalpost position with your arms, or some people call this like a W position, and try and do the same thing. See if you can get that dowel rod all the way back to the wall with your elbows bent. And down. And then back up. And down. Okay? And then we put it all together. To start walking, just put the dowel rod behind your back, all right? And you're just gonna walk. The dowel rod will just help you to feel when you're starting to drift forward, because you'll kind of feel it on your bottom. That's why I like using a dowel rod as kind of like a cue. Your goal is to keep it off your butt by doing exactly what you did laying down, where you squeeze those shoulder blades together and back, and then do that chin tuck. Or you're trying to press an imaginary button with that base of your skull. And then that's the position you want to practice walking in. Okay? And then that is it for this video. I hope that helps you guys out to improve your walking efficiency and potentially decrease your risk of falling. If you like this video and you're new to this channel and you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you'll get notified every time I upload new videos. I enjoyed spending time with y'all today, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.